Do you want to know the number one thing, the number one reason why something gets kicked out in the underwriting stage of this process? Yes, you do. I know you do. Okay, here it is. It all comes down to debt to income ratio. Like, that is such a big category, right? But there's a lot of things that can happen during the home loan process that can impact the debt to income ratio, which is generally the reason why the loan file blows up and they can't get qualified. So here's some of the things that you want to make sure that you're talking with your clients about, or if you hear them talking when you're in the car, you're going to the home inspection, or you have a chat, these are the things that the lender needs to know as early on in the process as possible, because the more we know, the better we will be at finding a solution. So first of all, job change. We've actually had people change jobs during the home loan process, meaning that they're under contract, they're closing in 30 days, and they're going to take a new job. Now, that could be fine, but it also could be problematic. How are they paid currently? What did we use when we pre-qualified them? What's their new compensation package going to look like? Are they base salary to base salary? Did they receive base salary and lots of commission here, and their new role will be base salary and bonus? Problem. Just all the nuances and how income's calculated is a big deal. Here's another one. W-2 to a 1099 type of wage earner. That's a big deal, because in lending, when you're 1099, you're considered self-employed, which means now you have to have earned that income. If that's the sole income being used for qualifying, you have had to be self-employed now for 2 years. We need to see the tax returns with the filed income. There's a whole other process that goes into that. And I've actually had this happen where somebody has gone from W-2 to 1099 and they're like, I'm going to make so much more money. Maybe, but from a lending standpoint, it doesn't matter, because the guidelines are the guidelines and lenders have to follow these guidelines, especially when it comes to self-employed people. All right, what about purchases, right? So we pre-qualified them with a credit report. That credit report is good for 120 days. And we tell them up front, okay, don't make any major purchases, especially if we know that they're tight on their debt ratio. I can't make this stuff up. People do what they do. Doesn't matter how many times we tell them. You know, somebody goes out and buys a new car. Well, I traded in my old car. Okay, but your new car payment's $300 more than your old car. That could be a problem. The other thing is cosigning. This is a really big one, especially for people that have college-aged children. And people that co-sign on these, student loans, they think, well, it's not mine, it's my kids. I'm just like helping them out. Well, you're helping them out by co-signing, which means that debt obligation is yours. That actually has happened as well over the last 26 years. So all of these types of things just do come up. So the other one that's really important is undisclosed debt. Now, when somebody goes through the home loan pre-qualification process, they're going to complete a loan application. It's going to ask them for all kinds of things, right? So what are their debt obligations? Do they pay child support, alimony, spousal maintenance? Do they have timeshares? Do they have obligations? We want to know all that stuff. But sometimes that stuff, specifically child support, alimony, and spousal maintenance type of things, that isn't necessarily reported on a credit report. So if the client doesn't tell us, how will we know? And we actually have clients out there thinking, they'll never find out. Well, guess what? We find out. Why? Because lenders use more than just a credit report and a loan application when they're doing their due diligence on a loan file. There's a lot of other technology that goes into this process, and lenders find out this stuff. So I always tell our clients, look, just tell me the straight scoop. Tell us all the straight scoop out of the gate. That way my team and I can really put together a strategy to help them achieve their goals. And we don't want to get them under the contract and then something come up that we weren't aware of, and this whole undisclosed debt thing can really impact the debt ratio and kill the deal. We want to avoid that. So how do you take this information and change the way people think? The bottom line is just take it and educate them. Share with them, hey, look, make sure your lender knows. If they're going through the process, and let's face it, the buy cycle and the sell cycle is longer today because of limited inventory. So if that's the case, just make sure that they're communicating back with us or whoever their lender is with anything that changes in their life. That's the bottom line. That way we can have success. We can get them and you to the closing table in a smooth manner. That's what we all want. Hopefully this is helpful. We'll talk to you soon.